Okay, it is an absolutely beautiful fall day out. It's about 60 degrees, it's sunny. Unfortunately, I don't overly have the time to get a lot accomplished on the cabin. It's been a crazy week. Today's Sunday. I like to get a video out each Sunday. On top of that, as I've mentioned, we've got rifle season coming up real soon, and I'm not super excited to be out here running chainsaws and all kinds of stuff. Because deer travel right through the cabin and kind of the cabin areas. I might get a wild hare and haul some stuff into town, into my workshop, and get some more posts cut. We'll just have to see how this week goes. But today, my main focus is I want to come out, since it's such a beautiful day, and we do have about 2 weeks until deer season, get some stuff scouted out. I think we're going to be able to wind up with 4 stands, which would be plenty, obviously, for Thomas and I. We'll probably spend most of the time hunting together, but we'll see. And I'm going to show some of my sight lines and some good areas where the deer travel. So last year we had a stand up in this tree about 10 feet. I don't know that we'll put one back there because our sight lines are pretty good. As you can see, we got the bulk of the property open to us. The problem is, you probably see in the background, that is the direction of the highway, and I don't like shooting towards the highway. So actually my sight lines are going to be closed in here probably within about 50 yards or so. And you know, if it was archery season, if I was coming out with a bow, that'd be better. But I don't love that sight line for rifle season. The next spot I've been looking at is kind of on this little rise right here. That is where we are talking about, and by we I mean Thomas and I, retrofitting an old swing set that we have, a wood swing set that it has a tower that, you know, has a ladder and slide coming down off of it, and then the arm from it to A-frame for the actual swings. And so if we set that up kind of on this little knoll, then we've got good sight lines to the east. Across here, that jumble of trees, in those, that's where the cabin is. And then we can look west pretty good here. The property line that direction is just beyond those trees, kind of right behind those cedar trees. And then the property line in this direction you can't see. Now my family that was up and harvested a deer, they were up here a little bit further. They set up their blind kind of back in this little nook. And wound up dropping a deer just beyond that fence post, if you can see it. She wasn't probably, shoot, what is that, 25 yards away? So it was a pretty easy shot for him. But I think we'll still have that same sight line. We're pretty close if we're just around this little bend here. This is the main stand we've been using in the past. As you can see, it's a good distance off the ground. But I don't know how much we'll use it this year. It's a 2-man stand, but the size of Thomas and I, it fills up real fast, and it's kind of awkward to move around. You know, you got your gun sitting down, you see deer walk out, it just takes a little bit more maneuvering to get in position to, you know, possibly take a shot. But as you can see, the sight line from this stand, looking direct north, again, that's the direction that my family shot the deer. And then as we go west, we've got a nice big open area. Now, of course, deer don't really like to travel across this big open area because they like to feel safe. So they like to walk that tree line. And they like to walk the property line, which was right by the cabin. Which is why, like I said, I'm not crazy about getting out and making a bunch of noise and disrupting them. So we might hunt this a time or two. We'll see. Like I said, it's a little bit taller than either of us like, and it's definitely crowded with both of us up there, but it by far has the best sight lines, just where it is, and, you know, being 15, 18 foot off the ground. In addition to the swing set stand, This is another new stand this year. So it sits, we're east of the cabin, probably about 150 feet or so. And then its sight line is looking out over pasture. Now the pasture kind of runs uphill a little bit. So obviously the sight lines from up there are going to be better than they are from down here on the ground. But it should be a pretty good setup. It's actually my friend's stand that he set up. So we'll probably hunt it a time or two and see how it does. The direction the deer like to move, and it's kind of hard with all this scrub brush in the way, but this is kind of right where they like going through. They've got cover almost the whole property, at least to an extent, and then they walk up this fence line, which is the north property line. So they like to walk this line through here, pretty good cover until they get out to here. Now that bean field is the neighboring property. So this single strand of hot wire right here is the property line, but they walk down that property line, and again, essentially walking right by the cabin on that little pathway between usually where we park and the actual site itself. There's a little cluster of trees over here that is around, kind of a little wallered out spot. Some of the old timers call them buffalo wallows. Kind of a spot where it naturally stays wet, and cattle and, back in the day buffalo like to go on really hot days. And so it's just really scrubby in there, which is good cover. They like to bed down in here as well at night. I thought about putting a stand, up in here a little bit closer, but really that'd be more appropriate for bow hunting because the sight lines are going to be very, very short. So who knows? I do have one more stand, a single tree stand that I might set before the season starts. But I'm going to really have to find the right spot for it. Like I said, we've already got 2 stands up, and then we'll put the swing set stand up. That's 3. And the property's just really not big enough to justify a 4th, but if I find a really good spot, I might throw it up. It's pretty easy, and hunt it a time or two and see how it does. Bingley's on the trail. Hey, what are you doing? You getting stuck in there? Oh, made it out. Hey. The great hunter emerges. Of course, I don't think you caught anything. So like I said, not much action again. If I do some work, haul some stuff back home and do some work there, we'll see if I record any of it. None of it's going to be exciting. We'll just come out and get some more measurements for the posts and haul those in and get them cut. And then just have them ready to char. If we do, or when we do wind up moving the swing set stand out, probably record some of that. I don't know how exciting that'll be either. But yeah, I know this isn't a deer hunting channel, but this time of year, that's just got to take a priority for us. Like I've said, that's part of how we put food on our table and provide for ourselves. So that's just, this channel's not necessarily a cabin channel, not necessarily a mental health or faith channel. It's just a real life channel, what goes on. So that's the situation we're in. That's got to be the priority right now. Hopefully if you're a deer hunter, you never know how it's going to go. But if I can get some good footage from that, I can share that with you guys. But I think that's what we're going to do for today. Appreciate you guys coming along. We'll see you next time.